Hello everyone, welcome back to RX Prodigy. In this video, we are going to study the cardiovascular system. In our previous video, we have studied 12 systems are present in our body, right? In those 12 systems, the cardiovascular system is one of the main system present in our body. So we are going to study the cardiovascular system, the parts of cardiovascular system and how it functions in our body. So let's start today's session. As the human body is made up of 12 different systems and one of the main system is the cardiovascular system, so we need to know what is the function of cardiovascular system, what are different parts of cardiovascular system, right? So the function of cardiovascular system is pumping of blood is pumped with the help of heart. So that is the main function of cardiovascular system. As blood is getting pumped by the heart, it is reached to all body parts, right? So blood is important for all body organs, for their nourishment, for their growth, right? So blood transports oxygen and nutrients. You can see here oxygen and nutrients are transported by the blood to all body parts. This is the function of cardiovascular system, correct? Now main parts of cardiovascular system involves the heart, then blood vessels and bloods. These are three main parts of the cardiovascular system. Let's see the functions of heart. As we know that heart is involved in pumping of blood to all body parts, correct? So it pumps the blood to all body parts. This is the main function of heart. Then second function is that as it pump the blood to all body parts, it is involved in maintenance of blood pressure throughout the body. So this is second function of heart, to maintain the blood pressure. Okay, as heart pump the blood to all body parts, and blood contains all kind of factors, all kind of components, correct? So blood delivers oxygen, then hormones, glucose and other components to all body parts. So these are three main functions of heart: to pump the blood, then maintain adequate blood pressure, and third is blood delivers oxygen and other nutrients to all body parts. Now the types of circulation. There are two types of circulations present in our body. First is systemic circulation and second is pulmonary circulation. Okay, systemic circulation is divided into two sections. We'll see these sections one by one. Okay, systemic is related to body parts. Okay, now the circulation which is present between body parts and heart is called as systemic circulation. This systemic circulation is divided into two sections. Okay, first section is the deoxygenated blood from the body parts goes to the right atrium of the heart. That is first half section of the systemic circulation. Second half section of systemic circulation involves that the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle of heart goes to body part. That is second half of the systemic circulation. Okay, systemic circulation, it is the circulation between body parts and heart. Okay, first circulation of systemic circulation is deoxygenated blood from body parts to right atrium, and second half of systemic circulation is oxygenated blood from left ventricle to body parts. That is second half of systemic circulation. Next type of circulation is pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation is present between heart and the lungs. Okay, now see the deoxygenated blood which is present in right ventricle goes to pulmonary artery. That is deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to pulmonary artery goes to lungs. Here oxygenation of blood takes place. That means exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. The blood is converted into oxygenated blood, and these oxygenated blood again from lungs goes to left atrium. That is second half of pulmonary circulation. Okay, first is systemic circulation. It is present between heart and body parts. Second is pulmonary circulation. It is present between heart and lungs. Okay. Now next we will see the anatomy of heart. We have divided the anatomy of heart in 4 sections. We will see the layers of heart, then chambers of heart, blood vessels and walls of the heart. Okay. So first is the layers of heart. The layers of heart are divided into 3 sections. The outer layer is the pericardium, middle layer is myocardium and inner layer is endocardium. Okay. First is pericardium. It is the outermost layer. Now you can see in the diagram is of heart wall. This is the structure of heart wall. In that the outer layer, this layer is the pericardium. Now this pericardium is divided into 2 sections. Okay, the outermost section is the fibrous pericardium and innermost section is the serous pericardium. Okay, fibrous pericardium and serous pericardium. Here, visceral layer of serous pericardium. Okay. Now, the middle section of the layer of heart is the myocardium. This myocardium is made up of cardiac myocytes which are responsible for pumping action of the heart, and the inner layer of this inner layer of heart is endocardium, which is made up of epithelial tissue. Now next part is chambers of heart. As we all know that heart is divided into 4 chambers. The upper chambers are called as atrium and lower chambers are called as ventricle. So upper chamber are atrium and lower chambers are ventricle. Okay. Now heart, if we divide it into 2 sections, left and right section, then the upper chamber of right side is called as right atrium. You can see here right atrium. The lower section of right side is called as right ventricle. Okay. Then left side, left atrium. The upper section is atrium and lower section is ventricle. So these are 4 sections of these 4 chamber of the heart. Now these heart chambers are again get separated by different walls, which we will study in next slide. Okay. Next part of the anatomy of heart is blood vessels. Okay, as we know that different blood vessels are present in our body and which are responsible for carrying blood to all body parts and which are responsible for transportation of blood from heart to the all body parts. Correct. So there are 3 main types of blood vessels present in our body: veins, arteries and capillaries. Okay, these three blood vessels are differ according to the size and their structure. Okay, first we will see the artery having the thickest wall of all these 3 blood vessels because they have higher pressure. We will see difference between all these blood vessels in next slide. First we will see their structure. First, in artery thickest wall is present and in capillaries thinnest wall is present. Okay, and in vein less muscular and stretchy structure is present in the vein. Now first difference we will see. First is artery. We have seen that artery is the thickest, capillary is thin and the medium normal structure is present in the vein. Correct. Now artery, it carries oxygenated blood and most of the time the artery carries oxygenated blood and veins carries deoxygenated blood. But what we need to understand, we need to remember is that arteries carries blood away from the heart and veins carries blood back towards heart. That means they brings blood from all body parts to heart. That is the function of vein. Okay, now how you will remember the artery carries blood away from the heart? I have given the trick here. The A for artery, artery carry blood away from the heart. This is trick to remember. Okay, now Capillaries, these are thinnest, right? So as their walls are thin, they are involved in exchange of substances, exchange of gases, exchange of energy, exchange of nutrients can be done with the help of these capillaries. Okay, next, now we have seen that artery carries oxygenated blood and veins carries deoxygenated blood, correct? Arteries carries blood away from the heart and veins carries blood towards the heart, right? But here, now see, arteries carries oxygenated blood, but in case of pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to the lungs. Okay, and that means it is opposite to the whatever we have remembered. Artery carries oxygenated blood, veins carries deoxygenated blood, but here the pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood, and it carries deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to the lungs. Okay, and pulmonary vein, it carries oxygenated blood from lungs to the left ventricle. Now here we have remembered two theories. First is arteries carries oxygenated blood, but second theory was that arteries carries blood away from the heart, correct? So pulmonary artery, you can see here, pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to lungs. That means it carries blood from heart towards lungs. That means it carries blood away from the heart. Okay, and vein carries oxygenated blood from lungs to left ventricle, correct? That means pulmonary vein carries blood towards the from lungs to the left ventricle. That means it carries blood from all body parts to from body part to the towards the heart. Okay, now different walls. There are four main walls present in heart. In that, first is the tricuspid wall. Okay, it is located between the right atrium and the right ventricle. Okay, we have seen the atrium, that means the uppermost section of the heart, and ventricles are lowermost section of the heart. Okay, first is the tricuspid wall. Cusp means the door. Three cusp, tri means three cusps are present. So tricuspid, you can see in the diagram, three cusp, 1, 2 and 3 cusp are present in the wall. So it is called as tricuspid wall, and this tricuspid valve is present between right atrium and right ventricle. This is the first wall. Okay, second wall is the pulmonary wall. You can remember the pulmonary vein is present. So in the pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, pulmonary wall is present. Okay, pulmonary wall is present between right ventricle, this section, right ventricle and the pulmonary artery. Okay, so pulmonary wall is located between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood to lungs. Okay, now third is the mitral wall, or it is called as bicuspid wall. The only wall present in the heart which is having only two cusps. Bi means two and cusp means the door. Okay, so two cusps are present in the mitral wall or the bicuspid wall, and this wall is present between the left ventricle and the left atrium. Okay, left ventricle and the left atrium, bicuspid valve is present. Okay, and third valve is the aortic semilunar valve or aortic valve. It is present between left ventricle and the aorta. Okay, left ventricle and this part, this is the aorta. Okay, so this valve is the aortic valve and it have three cusps, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that means all the valve present in the heart have three cusps, but only bicuspid valve, which is also called as mitral valve, have two cusps, and this mitral valve is present between left ventricle and the left atrium. Okay, now this is about the anatomy of heart. Now we will see how the blood flows in the heart. Okay, so flow of blood in the heart, there are four. We have divided this flow of blood in the heart in four sections. First is the deoxygenated blood enters in the heart into the right atrium. Okay, first you can see here from upper body, and here this is inferior vena cava and this is superior vena cava, correct? Superior vena cava brings the deoxygenated blood from upper section of the body, and inferior vena cava brings deoxygenated blood from lower section of the body. Okay, so the deoxygenated blood from superior and inferior vena cava comes into the right atrium. Okay, this section is right atrium, in that deoxygenated blood is coming, correct? Next, the valve is present between right atrium and right ventricle is tricuspid valve. Okay, through this valve the blood goes into the ventricle. From right atrium the blood is enter into the right ventricle through the tricuspid valve, correct? And then from the right ventricle the deoxygenated blood goes to the pulmonary artery through the pulmonary semilunar valve to the lungs, correct? So the blood which is coming from the pulmonary artery is the deoxygenated blood and it goes to the lungs. Okay, from lungs the blood get oxygenated, and this oxygenated blood is coming towards the left atrium through the pulmonary vein, correct? And when the blood coming into the left atrium, it is oxygenated blood. This oxygenated blood from left atrium enter into the left ventricle, and from left ventricle the blood goes to the aorta from the aortic semilunar valve, and then from aorta it goes to all body parts. This is the flow of blood. Okay, so first is deoxygenated blood enter into the heart, that means into the right atrium. Second, blood goes into the right ventricle and taken to the lungs where the oxygenation takes place. Then third step is oxygen carrying blood from the lungs enter into the left atrium. Then third, blood is pumped to into the left ventricle and starts its journey again throughout the body. Okay, so flow of blood, we will see this again. First, body part towards right atrium. From right atrium blood enter into the right ventricle. From right ventricle the deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs, and from lungs you can see here from lungs the oxygenated blood come into the left atrium. From left atrium blood goes to the left ventricle, and from left ventricle oxygenated blood is pumped to all body parts. So this is about the flow of blood. Okay, for more such videos you can follow the following steps: like, share and subscribe the RX Prodigy. Thank you for watching.